Rachel came back. That's, well. Well, if anyone has any questions, if not, I'll just go off on something. Do you notice, folks, that when people are trying to get out of themselves, they're more obsessed with the self than ever, yes? In most cases. I remember when I was involved in spirituality and Tai Chi and stuff, and I have a beautiful girlfriend, and she felt like amore, you know, at that moment, and was offering me an incredible invitation, but I'd have to tell her, "Be gone, woman, be gone, I'm busy doing my form," and shit like that, yeah? It always blows my mind now, because in the pursuit of getting out of self, you're more in self, so to speak, yeah? You have to see that little conundrum. Some of the most obsessed with self people are the ones that are in the profession of getting out of self, yeah? It just, it should tell us all something, yeah? There's something there. If you go one way, it reflects you. If you go the other way, it reflects a you, yeah? And actually, this is like a habitual reflecting a you. The getting out of you is a big reflection, a huge one, yeah? Unbeknownst to us. So the more and more we try to get out, the more and more we think we're in, or we feel we're in. We don't think we're in, we're thinking we're getting out, but we're more enveloped or engulfed in that activity. There's not a one, but there's just more engulfing in that activity. So how are you going to get out of it? Yeah? You know, like we have this conundrum, we have this statement in recovery, self can't get out of self. It wasn't in the big book of recovery. It came from the community and observation that most people were doing just that. They've been trying to get out of self as self. Yeah? That's why it's not working. That's the whole explanation. Not that you're not good enough, you didn't work hard enough, you didn't concentrate enough. Maybe it has something to do with your lack of donations concerning this situation. But usually it's more about, more or less. I want, if I'm not getting more, I must be doing less, so to speak. So I have to up my game and so on and so forth. We've all fallen for it, yeah, many times. And then for years, the system sustains itself by its fundamental self-centeredness because you blame you, You don't, maybe it's not the teacher, but it could be the teacher in a way. It's not this, it's not that, it's all you. You're the one who's, if you only was more sincere, or somehow there's a quality that we're lacking that would, complete the mission. Yeah? I mean, the path is there, the teacher is there, he's beckoning or she's beckoning you forward, but you can't seem to get up enough speed to break through the inertia of Paul. Yeah? But after a few years of blaming oneself, maybe you have a more sober assessment of what's going on, and then you may come to a conclusion. The why I can't get out is I'm not in, That's the thing. That never came to me. No one ever brought that up. It was all about getting out, yeah, or arriving somewhere else. But never, are you really in what you're really trying to get out of, Or are you really that one that wants to get out? If you're not, then wanting to get out may not mean as much, yeah? And maybe when you stop wanting to get out, you'll see you're not in. Yeah. And it's sort of like the solution always demonstrates itself out of time. Yeah. So how long would it take to get out of an imaginary place? Yeah, literally. How long? Yeah. And what would be necessary to do that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because you're not in. That's the whole point that stumps the mental logic is that. Yeah? You are what you're looking for. That means when you're not looking for it, you're it. When you're looking for it, you're it. When you think you're spaced out, you're it. When you think you're really getting close, you're it. Yeah? It's a fact. Yeah? It's like a stubborn fact, like the elephant in the spiritual room. Yeah? We are what we're looking for. Now, if you don't agree with that, there's tons of other Zooms, I imagine, right now. Seriously. Yeah? But if you have a little flavor, hey, that could maybe possibly be true, let's check this out a little bit. And then, all right, if you have that sense, I am what I'm looking for, then why am I looking for it? Yeah. What's motivating that? Yeah. I mean, you would think it would be obvious if you are that you're that. Yeah. So what's causing that obviousness to escape, us, let's call it? Well, in my feeling is the only really way it could happen is if there's an activity that's the act of being identified as something. And it doesn't matter what that something is, but it's something you're not. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep that. It doesn't matter what something it is, a great something, a small something, spiritual something, corporate something, but you're not. Yeah, you're not that. It doesn't matter what's happening, you're not that. All right? So that act of being identified as what we're not is confusing the obviousness of what we are, in a say. Yeah? It's sort of like it's sort of what would confuse the wave about the ocean wouldn't be the ocean, it's the wave. Yeah, it's the idea of being the wave is what's causing a seeming separation from the ocean, where the great longing and yearning for a spiritual wave would be to merge with the ocean, even though it's the ocean right now. Yeah, but it would love to have the experience of merging with the ocean as a wave. Yeah, so maybe, all right, I'm going to give it to the ocean that's most of what I am. But as I'm merging into the ocean, it would be wave, 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 and then ocean. So it would all be about the wave. So for the wave to continue to be the main point, it has a cognitive dissonance going on. It doesn't become the ocean. Yeah, it would like to become the ocean as a wave, but it doesn't. There's like a conflict in there, because it knows that if it actually recognizes the ocean, it will see it's not the wave. Yeah. So there's a stubbornness in the mental idea of being a wave that it doesn't, it's hanging on with the hopes that it's going to experience its own absence, or that it's going to be there to get it. It wants to get that it's an ocean as a wave. Yeah. This is the dilemma. That's not going to happen. The idea of the wave is prolonging this sort of separation. That's imaginary completely. Yeah, it only can appear like that in time, but in the fact of timelessness, nothing has happened. Yeah, ocean is ocean is ocean is ocean is ocean. It doesn't matter how many waves have appeared. Not one wave has separated from the ocean. You know what I mean? You're not going to see a wave in like Boise, Idaho, in a sense. Yeah, it's not escaped. It's not run away at Jones Beach and it got on the Long Island Railroad and now it's a wave in Long Island City. No, it's ocean. Yeah, that's that simple. Yep. And without the sense of the ocean, there isn't going to be a wave. Yeah, obviously. So So what can happen is the wave can go, and it doesn't mean a damn thing to the ocean. Yeah, if the ocean went, there'd be no fucking wave. Yeah, so let's put the horse in front of the cart, not the cart in front of the horse. Yeah, so all right. So if you see you're not the wave, what do you find out? Yeah, there you go. If you try to find out what you are as the wave, what do you find out? More of what you're not. You just, the waving gets reinforced, the waving and the waving and the waving. But if you see you're not a wave, that's the end of the story. Yeah? The waves will continue. There wasn't, not being a wave doesn't stop the waves. Yeah? Because being a wave never started the waves. Yeah. Yes? The waves are appearing. They've never needed you to be a wave to appear. They're appearing, yeah? Let's say on the surface of the ocean. So the idea that, there's nothing without, the idea of a wave is an appearance of ocean. It's not it's not a separate, long-lasting, independent wave. Yeah, it's an appearance of ocean. Just be clear. Why? I don't see how it's difficult. Yeah, at least to get the clarity of, all right. So how could I miss what's everywhere? Yeah, that's what always used to get me in catechism school in Long Island. They'd always give me the 3 attributes of God, which is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere. And I was really surprised, why am I not bumping into everywhere? I feel like I fit the category of being somewhere near everywhere at least. Why am I not running into it? Because I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm missing that point. Yeah. So hopefully by sharing with you some of the warnings that I've come up against of how the mental system keeps regrouping and reclaiming, using the presence of what you are to infer what you're not. Yeah, basically. Because it's not putting out a scent. What you're not doesn't have its own perfume. Yeah? It's all inferred and implied by claiming other things. Yeah? So basically the I am is claimed to infer there's a Paul. Yeah? So now the obsession with Paul, you miss the whole point of the I am. The I am would be sufficient just to have that sense to put everything to rest and be clear and have that horse in front of the cart. But the thing is, the I am is somehow is used to manufacture this I am Paul. Yeah? And then Paul sits on the I am by I was Paul and I will be Paul. So there's a mental remembering of Paul in the past and a mental remembering of Paul in the future. They're both forms of remembering Paul now. So that the I am gets sort of covered up with let's say the object of obsession, which is the idea of being Paul. Yeah. So then the mental addiction plays its role where the seeing would be more than enough. Yeah. But you have to go through the jungle of see or seen. Yeah. The hearing would be more than enough, but we get caught in the dualistic dichotomy of hearer heard. Yeah. And the emphasis is always on the hearer and the heard, and definitely much more on the hearer, because you're going to hear tons of shit today, but there's only going to be one hearer. Yeah. So the idea of being a long-lasting, independent, separate entity all day is being reinforced by the claiming of living. Yeah. Yeah. Yet we are before that. We are before the mental process. We can see the activity that implies what we're not, because we're not that. Yeah. we can see the activity that implies what we're not because we're not that. Yeah. That's why. Now, the activity can maybe understand something's going on, but it never sees it, yeah? Because it's not at the point of seeing. It's at a point of time, yeah? So it can maybe get an understanding of it, which is a substitute for seeing, and it can be a poor substitute for seeing, because usually when the rubber hits the road, it won't be there. It won't be applicable to your living. Yeah, it may be in a controlled environment like a seminar or a retreat, but once you get out of that controlled environment, basically the understanding, meeting day-to-day life doesn't really hold up well, usually, unless it's packed with seeing, yeah? The seeing doesn't come from the circumstance and the controlled environment or the understanding. It goes through the understanding, yeah? The understanding is a view that the vision looks through, yeah? Yeah. And what happens and when you entertain this, you don't lose interest in the in and get a lot of interest in the out, yeah? You lose interest in the whole shebang, yeah? The obsession just doesn't jump to the next lily pad, yeah? So here you're obsessed with this, and now you're obsessed with the one that's looking at this, yeah? No, that whole like slinky thing is just minimized. You see it, but you're not looking from it anymore. Yeah, and you see it doing its thing, but it's not enveloping. It's not comprehensive. It's sort of like if there was 9 squares in this zoom, and each square had a little tiny square in that zoom, and that could be a meter where I could see how much you're up the ass of self or not. So therefore, it could be very small, and then with Elliot, it'd be like 50%, let's say, of the screen. Yeah. But the whole thing, it has all the situations, but just shrunk, so to speak. You know what I mean? Shrunk. The in shrinks, the out shrinks, the one that's entertaining in the out shrinks. Yeah? It continues on, but the slinkies, it's like this. It's like a little hump now, but like going over speed bumps instead of these huge fucking catastrophic movements, you know. Paul was really fucked, and now he's unfucked, and now he's fucked again. No, it's just basically, you know, yeah. So that's traveling lighter. Traveling lighter in the supposed ins, and traveling lighter with all the hope that's put in the outs, yeah? You just travel lighter through it. That's all. Yeah, because you're the space in which it's appearing in. You're not that little activity that's dwarfing the space. The space is dwarfing the activity, yeah? It's beautiful, really. And what's really beautiful about it, it doesn't demand much maintenance, yeah? Because it generates its own juice. It's not like borrowing the juice from something else, yeah? With the hope, with the fear that it's always going to have to be returned. No, you are what you're looking for. Right now, it's so gorgeous. And it doesn't say you are, and then 50 pages of requirements that if you meet like 98% of them, you will be what you're looking for. No. What's looking right now is what you're looking for. Wow. What an incredible fucking message. If it ever lands, I swear, I mean, distance and time just gets shrunk. Yeah? All that, see, it's, you know, the basic seeing is disguised as an act of looking. Yeah? We're using the seeing, or the mental state is, in an act of looking. Yeah? So the looking is like seeing claimed. Seeing claimed is now Paul looking. It's the same seeing, yeah? But, oh, when there's a belief in Paul, it looks totally different. Because the seeing may be the goal that you're using the looking for to arrive at. And that's why Haramana and Huang Po say, hey, you know, you can't use light to seek light. You basically can't use what's seeing to look for seeing. You know what I mean? You can try it for eons, nothing's going to happen. That's a good news in a way. Yeah? Realizing nothing's going to happen, you are that. Yeah? And just cut out the eons. So basically, just arrive immediately at nothing's going to happen. I am that. I don't care how many circus gymnastics of the mental state come to town. I'm that. Yeah. That's that. So all the shenanigans can go on for eons and nothing changes. Exactly. Really. I'm looking at it in a beautiful way. Nothing will ever change is a beautiful recognition, and let's just maybe cut the eons, you know? But let's arrive at that fact. You can try it for eons and nothing's going to happen, or you can realize nothing is or is going to happen. Hallelujah. A thought can't move it, an action can't move it, disease can't move it, success can't move it, yeah. Sex can't move it, non-sex can't move it, money can't move it, no money can't move it. It's just a stubborn fact amidst all this mental assumption of all these things that are just given so much meaning. Can you imagine giving an irrelevant appearance the ability to obscure you from the truth? Give me a fucking break. So I don't know. How it's worked with me is seeing what I'm not, really. Because that was, you know, I got a little bit of curiosity from some of the statements I heard, like from Ramana and Nisargadatta, and that led me to entertaining ideas, and they verified the suspicion, yeah? And I saw this mental activity that's arising, and when it arises, it says it's always been here. It's amazing. It's like it arises now and says it has a 90-year resume. That's incredible. And we don't start at it arising now, because if we did, we would be seeing, yeah? We start that I've been here for 50, 60 years. So, and I'm not moving, yeah? So basically, the only way it looks like I can get any relief from self is trying to get out of it. Unfortunately, I get trapped in its little mental web, and I run into that thread that wraps around me like a noose. Self can't get out of self. Fuck. What's one to do now? Am I going to sit with all this shit? No freaking way. You know? No, you're not the one that's going to sit through all this shit. That's the beauty of it. You're not the one that's going to get out of jail free. You're not that one either. You're not the one that thinks it's impossible. You're not the one that doesn't believe it deserves grace. You're not any of those ones. You're not the angelic singing ones. You're not those. You're not the demon fucking trident throwing motherfucker. You're not those either. I don't know what the hell you are. Yeah. I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. I'd have to be something else to know. And I'm not. Yeah. Knowledge is not needed in being. It's not. Yeah. Being is sufficient in and of itself to complete the complete mission. It doesn't need an understanding, doesn't need knowledge. It just is. Yeah. We're the one that pack, like we're going on a long journey. It could be inclement weather in the void. No, there's no weather. So what happens? I don't know what will happen with you. I do know from experience that Paul, in spite of himself, has traveled lighter over the years. And man, Paul may get these conceptual ideas about nirvana, enlightenment, but really, I think the greatest value Paul can ever come upon is traveling lighter through this event of seemingly being an action figure in time in a lot of volatile circumstances and situations, seemingly inside and outside. To be able to travel lighter through all this is fucking... It's like, forget the other two wishes from the genie. That was sufficient. Yeah. The one wish is traveling lighter. If I would have had 40 experiences of traveling lighter, that's what I would have been wishing for. When I first started in spirituality, it wouldn't have been enlightenment. I don't know what the fuck that means. Nirvana, shit like that. But traveling lighter, because I sure had an experience of traveling heavy. So I could compare and imagine the opposite of that. Yeah. That would be attractive. So, yeah. All right, we want to open it up.
Anybody want to raise their hands? And I love the attentive.
Hallelujah! Yeah.
2 hands. I love that attentive expression on the Tibetan deity behind you.
The what? Oh, this?
Yeah. Nice background.
Thank you. Yes, I worked on it all day. Pretty nice, eh? Yeah.
Very.
Lighting is a little weird. I don't know what happened.
Looks good to me.
Oh, is it good? Good. Oh.
Gary. Hi, Gary.
Gary.
Still muted, Gary. Oh, maybe do I have to allow you? Can you not unmute yourself?
Oh, there's Brahmi. Brahmi's got a big cat. Wow.
How about now? Is it unmuted?
Yeah, I might have.
Yes, I didn't hear you there.
Hi. I just wanted to comment, that after hearing you today, it's kind of like one of the first times I heard you and you gave me the nickname Gary in the Corner. It's like I've listened to your spiel again and it's like, okay, back to the corner. That's it. That's where Gary belongs, in the corner.
That's right. That's right, Gary. Don't wander too far from the corner.
Exactly. Not too much to know, not too much to do.
No.
Just come and check in once in a while.
Yeah, why not? We all like you, so it's nice to see you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
That was sweet, Gary. Somebody had their hand up, but it's disappeared.
There's so many nice people I know here. There's Mary G. and Alan. Taz, I'm not so sure about. Taz from Melbourne, but he was nice when I met him. I caught him on a good day, maybe. There's Noor with his long-lost brother, Neither and Noor. We got, who's that there? I can't see it.
Chad's here again. He put his hand up.
Oh, Chad?
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Oh, there's Keith. How are you doing, Keith? I'm not going to make any jokes about Idaho tonight. I just got this. Invitation to speak for some group, and I don't know if they send this little warning to everyone, but they sent this in. Could you please refrain from using vulgar language? I bet you they don't send that to every other person. And when I hear that, what does it make me want to do? Yeah. All right. Where is he, Chad?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I wasn't able, I was trying to unmute, but it wouldn't let me
I can
unmute there
hear you,
for
yes.
a bit.
I
I
think
can
I
hear
might.
you.
Okay. Yeah. So last week after the meeting, the day after, when I woke up in the morning, I felt the feeling that you were talking about there of this traveling lighter. And it was a strange sort of thing where, like, I just felt like I wasn't really worried about a whole lot of things. And it was like a burden was lifted. But then, that, simultaneously there was in this sense of emptiness, there was this desire to fill that emptiness, and uh, to try and make something, or put things back the way they were, because it was like, well, things are too easy, or things are, it's too simple, and that it was frightening. So I was like, I don't really understand. I don't really understand why it is that it's sort of like, uh, it, I think I heard a story sometime about a monk who was sitting out in the sun, and the teacher told him, they or the and this monk was complaining about how hot it was, and so the teacher told him, come under the tree and sit in the shade, because it's too hot to be sitting out there. And so he did, and he cooled off. And then at some point he said, okay, it's boring sitting under this tree in the shade, and I want to go back out. And he went out, sat back in the sun, and got hot and started complaining again. And so I started feeling like that felt very connected to sort of to maybe my body's reaction to that.
Well, let me say one thing, Chad. It wasn't simultaneous. The first thing of feeling better and traveling lighter, and then you said simultaneously there was this, no, that was time. The second aspect took time to come up. The first reporting was live. The second was the deadening of the live news. Yes? See, there's a great master, I like him a lot anyway, Wei Wu Wei, yeah? Strange dude, Irish guy. And he had a very big aspect about time, of the role of time here. So you just had an event of it. You just had a lesson, like a homeschooling. Yeah? There was a sense of lightness, and then something came up, and when it came up, it implied that it came up at the same moment, but it didn't. It came up later. Yeah? And then it wanted to sort of, demand the spotlight on it, when it was very nice when you were first speaking, when the spotlight was, I don't know what's going on, I'm traveling lighter, and then of course the but, and then it goes into the whatever. Yeah. So it's good to notice, this is what we talk about, the claiming, the selfing's claiming of what's happening. So what was happening is you woke up and you were different than you usually are. You weren't so concerned or whatever, yes? And then the mental state kicked in, claimed the previous thing and then drew the attention onto its little narration, yeah? Well, I'm this or whatever. Yes, so you've just witnessed the activity of the mental claiming of what's happening to imply the one, yeah? You just got a perfect illustration. Unfortunately, the name of the illustration was Chad, but whatever. It's might as well learn from yourself, yeah? Best way, actually. Yeah? So that's, you've seen it. So keep coming back. This is what happens. This doesn't need your consent. Yeah? It comes before you. It'll show you heaven, and then your head will arise and want to return most of the piece of the pie because you don't deserve it or haven't worked hard enough, yeah? Heaven just gave you a nice big slice. Fucking enjoy it. Yeah, that's the point. So you've got to see it, yeah? Before you used to not see that, so now you've seen it. Now you'll start recognizing what you're not from what you are. Hallelujah, yeah? Instead of being the object of the investigation, you'll be the subject. You'll be investigating. Instead of constantly you being investigated and critiqued and gone over, no, we'll turn the light on that activity. Yeah? And you'll see it's not you. You will, because there's no thing there. There's a lot of implying a thing. There was a thing, it says. There's going to be a thing, it says. And then it slips in the present tense state, which it doesn't have. You're there already. What you are is taking up the present tense state. Yeah. That's what. It wants you to forget that and remember you. That's what it wants. Yeah. It doesn't have this life. It wants yours. It's not your life, but the life that's being lived. It wants to claim it and make it into something. Yeah. And it usually does it unbeknownst to us. That's why it can continue to get away with it. Because we're trying to look for the thief on the level of a thief. We're thinking we're the policeman walking the beat and we caught the thief. That's the robbery. The thief-policeman conundrum. Yeah? So, fantastic. Thank you for the report, bro. Yeah. If we were charging you, the weight of that realization would cost you about $800. So start donating. Yeah. $800 for what? An hour of sitting here not knowing? Fantastic. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much. That was a very nice share because it's a beautiful illustration for what we're saying. Yeah? Yeah. The joy of life comes before the joyer of life. The enjoying comes before the enjoyer. Yes? The enjoyer has a very defined amount of what it can or will enjoy. The enjoying is unbridled. It doesn't package itself and call it, oh, this is a single serving. It's available, yeah? Be a glutton or not, it's there. Yes? You're not on a ration of peace. Peace is enjoyable. You can enjoy peace to fucking as long as you want. The bell doesn't go off. Okay, you've had enough enjoying. No, that's the fucking head, the thief, and the policeman shit. Yeah? Oh man, it just wants to. Don't you ever notice it? You have a feeling, and the head says it's a bad feeling, and then it projects a lifelong depression you're entering. Or the same head, you're feeling really good, and it starts getting suspicious. When are they going to find out I don't deserve this? I'm a fraud, whatever, you know? It elongates the seeming contraction and it fucking abbreviates the expansion. It's like playing like a fucking, whatever that thing, the thing you push back, an accordion, yeah? it really plays out the contractive notes, and it just squishes the other notes. Do you really want that to be the gatekeeper? Fuck. And then it charges you a lot of money. Oh, I'll give you 5 minutes, but you're going to have to go for a month-long retreat. Jesus Christ. It's like slavery. Yeah. This is what happens. You'll lose interest in Chad the gatekeeper. And what shows up, you'll fucking greet. Yeah. If it demands an action, you'll act upon it. If it demands chilling outness, you'll chill out. You'll respond to what's happening. Not from a pre-written script. Yeah, that's dead. Yeah. If we are of timelessness, why is there seeming time? Because what we're not is of time. Yeah? The activity that implies what we're not is of time. Our nature is not of time. Yeah? After a while, Chad, what will happen is you'll start feeling time. You'll feel what it's like. Yeah? And sometimes you'll have a pause, and that pause is like an eternal moment in a second of a moment in time. Yeah? And you'll start getting a distinction between what our nature is of and what we're moving through. Yeah? You get a feeling of it, and you'll start recognizing the shit you used to read. You'll start recognizing it in your own experience, in your own observations. Yeah? And you won't believe the efficacy of some of these people that left these little one-sentence bombs, because that's all you ever really needed. Even though we had to read 800,000 pages to arrive at that one sentence was all we ever needed. Whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. Whatever can be perceived, whatever can be seen, whatever can be touched, all right, if you don't know what perceiving means, whatever can be seen, heard, felt, taste, touched, cannot be that which is seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. Yeah? End of story. You want to fucking explore that for 40 years? That's where you're going to end up. Why not start there? Yeah? Some of the greatest information from timelessness saves you time. That's what it does. That's one of the main points of the Course in Miracles, was to save us time. Yeah? Why would a timeless download do that? Because it's where we need relief is in this activity of time. We don't need relief in the timelessness. Yes, we are that. We need relief from what we're not. So one of the greatest values of a teaching is to save us time. Yeah? So here it goes. The mental state claims what's happening, must be in a second or so, very quick in time. Claims it, and then it infers seeing means seer. Yeah? Seeing doesn't stand in and of itself, it equates the seer. And that's where the emphasis is on the seer, not the seeing. The seeing equates to seer. Hearing equates to hearer. It doesn't equate to hearing. Yeah? It equates to hearer. Yeah? Do you see it? The shift of emphasis? There's nothing there, then there's seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, all with the ing as their nature, It's happening, yeah, always. Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. When you're not touching something, the touching is still available, yes? Yes, yes. It's not like, oh, it's on call, so to speak. Hearing, feeling, tasting, touch, it's there, always there. And the mental state just claims it, claims the thoughts to infer there's a thinker. Yeah? And now suddenly the thinker is before all thoughts. You've got to see, the possibility of how things could go wrong when the beginning has been switched completely. That which comes after is implied to be before. I would think, why would you want to go to problem number 54 on page 80? I would stick right there. Yeah, wait a minute. That which comes after is implying to be before, and then the race, the gun of the race gets fired, and you start. The starting point is that which is after, not that which is before. Hey, good luck in the race. There's going to be a lot of whys running around. Why? Confusion. There's going to be questioning galore because it's based on false evidence. Yeah? Is it true that which comes after is before? No. Will it be true? No. Was it ever true? No. But it sure does appear to be true to us. Yeah? Because it appears as us. Yeah? Anything else we would say, hey, wait a minute, that came after. But in this condition, this is the one we swallow. Yeah? Wait a minute. I just sold you the car, now I'm buying it from you. Wait a minute. That came after. I'm not falling for that. It isn't your car you're selling to me. I sold you the car. But here, that which comes after is implied to be before. It's incredible. Anything else you would see, wouldn't you? I don't know. Oh, there goes a train. The engine and then the cars. I wouldn't see the cars dragging the engine, would you? I don't know. But here, our whole view is based on that which comes after is before. Come on. What, do you want to go to an advanced Zoom? That's not going to help. If the basis of the whole race is backwards, I mean, I wouldn't move from there till I got a little clearer about that. I swear. Yeah. That's what happened with me as the seed assignment. I was hoping to go off on fantastical, metaphysical, fucking mind candies, but something just told me, hey, if you don't see this, you're going to be looking from it. You're going to be looking from that statement. You're going to be looking from that which comes after, believing you're before everything. What does that mean, be before? Well, you're before the thoughts. What does it mean? You're the thinker. You're before all the feelings. What does it mean? You're the feeler. You're before all the actions. What does it mean? You're the actor. Yes, that's what it means. And yet, this is what the great masters say. Where is the great relief from doing? It's not being the doer. Yes? Being clear of that which is after is not before. There's doing, then idea of the doer. There's no doer doing. That's the mathematics of the great masters. They're clear. They said, yeah, events happen, deeds are done, but there's no individual doer thereof. What happens when the mental state reacts to an event? I'm at the event. What happens when the mental state reacts to deeds are done? I'm the doer. Or you're the doer. Or God's the doer. Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah? All based on what? That which comes after being implied to be before. But we want to get into the abstract algebra of the fucking metaphysics. Get to the root of the mathematics. the primary number 1 is the root of the mathematics, the mental mathematics. What's before is nothing, 0, empty, incredibly empty. Yeah? The mathematics of the mental state, it claims the 0 and it uses it to imply a 1 and slips the 1 as the primary number. And now we don't understand why all this shit's going on. Yeah? And we're usually the last ones to see our role in things, really. Yet we think we're the center of the universe. It's just mind-boggling. Yeah? Check it out. So there, Chad shared something, that which was before. He felt cool, chilled out, then something came after and implied it was Chad that was before. The feeling that Chad seemingly was having, yeah? Because Chad was never having them, yeah? There's the diagnosis. Check it out. Look at it in your own life and see. The seeing is there, yeah? See what's going on. And then it will be, like the bells of spirituality. A lot of them, you're going to be the clanger, You're going to get it, and you're going to make that sound. The bells are there, the clanger is missing. Yeah, King you, yes? Right as you are, and as you're not, right now. Yeah? It's not gained by a focused, concentrated interest. No. It's expressed by a relaxed awareness, yeah? Your little camera switches from focus to panoramic. You don't do it. It switches. You start seeing in a panoramic manner. Yeah? And maybe it works better for you. Hey, Chad, can you imagine that sense you had maybe after entertaining this for years and that gets established? Established. Not sincerely hoped for or like fucking with huge amount of thought and effort held in place, but no, established. Yeah? The screen is 90-something% screen and 7% the movie of Paul. Established now. Woohoo! Yeah? Yeah. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Chad. Anybody else want to raise their hand?
Thank you.
Say something, Paul.
Say something?
I wanted to get the screen. I just wanted to get the screen to switch.
All right.
That's all you had to say. That was it.
All right, I'm going to share again. So many of us have probably gone to a meeting where someone presented the idea, you're not the doer, yes? Now, your whole life, you've been living a narrative that you are the doer, let's say. So now you hear this novel idea, you're not the doer. Now, what we're saying is, in most cases, who's hearing you're not the doer is the doer mentality, yes? So, not being the doer gets claimed by the doer mentality. So what happens is the doer now thinks it's going to non-do itself into not being the doer, yeah? We're not into that. we want to have that message heard by the doing, not the doer, the doing, yeah? Because finally, the doing gets a beautiful description. Yes, there's doing, but there's never been a doer, yeah? It goes perfectly, it's heard perfectly as the doing. It is, unbelievably. It's like a fucking, it's so beautiful, yeah? Now, the doer arises very quickly, and in its arising, when it shows up, everything else seems to be forgotten. It's not forgotten. You can't forget what never leaves, yeah? But it seems to be forgotten because the emphasis goes on the doer again. Now the doer is confronted with a whole life of being the doer, and someone just said, "You're not the doer." Now, you can go to a lot of meetings as the doer and hear you're not the doer. It's probably not going to go anywhere, really. It's just going to fucking confuse and frustrate the doer, yeah? But what happens if the message gets heard by the doing? Yeah? Ah, that's exactly what satsang is. Or as Jesus supposedly said, for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, exactly. Yeah? We all seem to have ears and eyes, and then there'll be a hearing of it in a certain way. Yeah? That the message gets through. And when the message gets through to the target audience, that audience is not of time. So a whole lot can be downloaded in a second. So much information can be downloaded in timelessness. It may only look like a second, but it can change everything. Yeah? When the doing hears it's not the doer. Yeah? Because it's very clear it's not the doer. That's where the message is clear. It's in the seeing, the hearing, the feeling, not in the seer, the hearer, the feeler. We're trying to bypass the and whistle to the ing, so to speak. Because the ing is essential, the is an add-on. Yeah? Without no singing, there's no singer. Yeah? Yeah. So, all right, Mike, thanks.
And Mary told me that Rachel was raising her hand. So Rachel.
Well, now we have people telling about other people raising their hands now?
Well, if they see the gallery view that I don't see, then they might see that. And I will.
All right. I was wondering. All right. Bill said told Sue that Mary was thinking of asking Teresa if she has a question. All right.
And so now, is Rachel still here?
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Oh, there you are, right there.
Hi. I have a question about memory, actually, because we're talking about time, and it feels like one of the things that I get stuck on is kind of like, it seems like there's a person because of all the memory.
Yes, of course.
Right, and like that upload happens like immediately, and then it's like the whole person feels like it's here, like with all the memories and all the everything. And so like, what about that?
What about that?
I don't know. Can you help me with that?
No.
No?
Well, you saw it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, it will tell you saw it as how the memory pictures you, but you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, maybe you'll lose interest in how the memories picture you. Yeah? Yeah.
So like, so that whole stream of memories and like what feels like sequence is just like another thing, like it's like remembering. It's not a rememberer.
No,
kind of
it's
a
not a
thing.
remember, it's remembering.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. When obviously we seem to, our screen gets filled with past, yeah,
Hmm.
seemingly past pictures and past feelings and past. And in that realm of the past, we're pictured as a body, yeah. That's how you're remembered, yeah,
Hmm.
as a thing.
Yeah.
So it goes completely contrary to the view Huang Po was sharing, which is whatever can be perceived, which would be a thing, cannot be perceiving. So what the
Hmm.
memories remember you as or picture you as a perceived, yeah? And you see the memory as the perceiving,
Hmm.
yeah? But when you see the memory as the perceiving, you usually fall into the habit of thinking the perceiving is the perceived, yeah?
Right.
This is just the, yeah, this is the bondage of selfing, and so to speak, yeah?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So you see it finally.
So, and seeing it is enough.
I believe so, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Unless there's something demanded of you after that. Not much has ever been demanded of me. But yeah.
And
Seeing,
because it's like, because it is an addiction to, it's like, it's an addiction to the self, to like the identified self,
yes, for
right?
sure. Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
so. I'd say that's the uh, that's the addiction that launches all the other boats of addiction.
Hmm.
You know, for me, mostly getting loaded was to get out of self.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of addiction can be seen in spiritual activity. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I've witnessed it a lot. So yeah, the mental state to me is addicted to this idea of being that which can be remembered, that which is the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. But its whole basis is standing on something that it has nothing to do with, which is the
Mm.
doing, the seeing, the thinking, the feeling, the tasting. So, I mean, obviously, if all's going well, there probably won't be much curiosity, yeah, to see what's happening. But for many of us, there's that thing that Lord Buddha touched upon, the idea of suffering or dukkha, or like a vague malaise. And, you know, Buddhism 101, hoping for something temporary to give us lasting relief. I mean, all these insane ideas of demanding a lot from that can only give us a little, you know?
Mm.
So they try to put it out there so that you can see the failure of the system that we're relying on, so to speak. And the reliance has gone to such a point that it's entered a realm of being identified as. Yeah. See, now I did as an experiencer, as an action figure, I did a lot of cocaine. I shot up a lot of coke. I smoked a lot of coke. I snorted a lot of coke. Yeah. But not once, and I would do coke for days on end, 7 to 10 days, quite regularly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yet not once did I think I was cocaine, ever. There was
Mm.
this line drawn that I never, you know, try to move into a bindle and fucking shit like that. Yeah. But I believe we're starting at such an extreme point that seemed completely so far away when I was abjectly addicted to cocaine. We're starting at that point.
Mm.
We're taking ourselves to be the drug.
Wow.
That's an amazing, and therefore that demands a lot of fucking relief. And so we make the mistake just reproduces the same mistake. You try to get out of, yeah, self as a self with coke, with spirituality, with this or that. Many of us have tried tons of vehicles. If there were more cars on the lot, we would. But now they're running out, so now they're synthesizing a Toyota with a Rambler. Kabbalah with tantric, you know, mixing it all up, little therapy and this with the hope something will fucking work. You know what I mean? It's like those shakes. They put in about 30 fucking things, like kale, tons of shit. I mean, I feel if without seeing this, there's gonna be a lot of obsession with self brought into everything. Even the topics of getting out of self will be full of obsession with self, just completely. You know, so for me, it was what causes that idea to have so much value. I take it to be myself, you know. So once I saw it as something other than me, there was a loss of interest in it. There really was. Yeah.
What do you mean that you lost of interest in the
Well, I
identity?
lost interest in the idea of being self when I foresaw I wasn't one. Yeah. So basically, I lost interest in selfing because that's what implies a self. There's no self to be implied. Yeah. Selfing isn't reinforcing a self. Selfing is as far as it goes. It implies a self. You're not becoming or are a self. You're not along that. You don't stop where your skin ends and you're in your little private Idaho and someone else is, you know, that's ridiculous. It's crazy. Yeah. So the head, the selfing, when it arises, says it's always been you and it's always gonna be you. And it gets questioned, and then you question, well, how can I get out of this fucker? Basically, because even if it's a lousy movie, I'm going to watch Die Hard 12 because I just don't want to be left alone with this head. So look at the entertainment that's offered. It sucks, a lot of it, but we're watching it just to get out of this fucking thing. Yeah, we'll do anything. So yeah.
Thank you.
I'm a real believer. I'm a real believer. The best way to get out is seeing you're not in. Really, that's the winning number in this spiritual lottery with me. That's how it happened with me. Yeah, I recognized, man, I've tried to get out in a lot of different ways. And I mean, some I really tried, like drug use. I was really a perfect addict, really. I would basically try to overdose on purpose to see if I could have a second free from self before the body collapsed. I swear, it was like a religious Don Quixote using cocaine. So I was never the greatest spiritual practitioner, but I measure my devotion to drug addiction with any spiritual devotee, yeah. So I feel like I can safely say that they're all similar, yeah, and they're all methodologies of self trying to get out of self. Some given more noble meaning than others, but all dare to fail, really, hopefully, before you die. And so that you can see the biggest problem wasn't you can't get out. I remember, I'm going to share this with you, because it was I was in Australia. I used to live in Australia for a while. And I had a girlfriend in Australia. We lived together. And she had me make one promise to her, never to do. I said, all right, what is it? You know, I'm thinking, you know. She says, don't pick up a female hitchhiker. I said, oh, far out. I can do that, not do that. So after about 2 years, we broke up. And the first week, I'm driving around, I see this female hitchhiker, I pick her up. And she tells me about this thing going to go on in this town called Byron Bay, called the Path of Love. So I decided to do it. You know, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but I decided to do it. It was like an 8-day affair, and it was a lot of dialogue, and then they set up these cathartic events, and they would trigger a lot of them. And I remember I was in one of them and I was crying and laughing, going, I can never get back. I can never get back. And they saw me as a great realized being. All the people who ran the place. Oh, he's got it. I can never get back. And then I realized a year or two later why I could never get back, because I never left. I was looking for spiritual world tickets. No, I never left. I can't get back to where I never left. Oh, it was fucking hilarious. That saved me a lot of time, a huge amount of time. Because if it took all that time to get out, to leave, it was going to take me a long time to get back. Yeah? Don't you see the little mental strategy there? It says it took you a long time to split. It's definitely going to take you a long time. You may not show any results for lifetimes. So I can never get back because I never left. Thank God.
Wait, so I really, I think I believe that it's going to take me as long as it took me to get here where I am now. It's going to take
I
me
know,
that
of
much
course. That's why we said it. Yeah.
time. Wow. So it doesn't take
Usually
that
it
long.
has to have to do with sacrifice or shit like that. All the shit that you don't want to do. That which you're not tells you you're going to have to do it. What a great defense for its own agenda. That's why it's funny. There's a great statement Ramana Maharshi said, the greatest mystery is reality wanting to attain reality. All right? So let's say that's what's going on with us. So we have an idea of reality, and we need to change something of what we call our reality to attain that reality. Yes? So sooner or later, you're going to be seen as the biggest impediment. Yeah? You, right? So obviously, I've lost you, Rachel, but so here you are. You're the biggest impediment of you attaining reality. Yes?
Right. Yeah.
Now, and that one who is now the impediment of you attaining reality holds about 90% of your stock, so to speak. So basically, its pursuit of reality is going to be a very slow walk, you see, because if it, for you to attain a reality, it has to be completely destroyed. It's not going to rush to that moment of destruction too quickly, is it? It's going to drag its spiritual feet, yeah?
Mm.
Now that's cognitive dissonance. One thing is, no fucking way I'm gonna obliterate myself to attain reality, and then a small surface, I want reality. Yeah, yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Rachel. Nice to
Thank
see you.
you.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you, Rachel. Nor, or actually John's hand was up first, I think. So John Luna?
John Luna. John Luna hanging in there with us.
So, how you doing?
Hey, John, how are you?
Good. I was just fun. I just kind of a little bit of reporting and a little maybe something you comment on. Sunday, I was out taking a walk and I had like another big download, kind of even more than the one after the retreat, and it was just so obvious that anything in time I can't be. You know, it was just so clear and so much stress like fell away, like it was just this. And you know, there were a lot of insights in that time, but I tell you the truth, in the past I would have had an experience like that and I would have wanted to see how I could extend it, you know.
Yes.
And this time that thought didn't come to kind of grasp it or hold on. It's just let it be, let it be whatever it is, and let it do its work. That's beyond me anyway, kind of, right?
That's a good posture. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, because it's just sort of the, it's just kind of unfolds as it will, and then, but you know, I'm sort of a spiritual junkie still, so I gotta,
But
I
that's
get to.
not true now. That's not true, John.
No, no, yeah, no. I mean, you know what it is? I got an
It's
email
an
from
old
a guy.
story.
It is an old story.
Yeah.
I got. It's true. I'll kind of show you why I think that's coming to an end in a way. So I got the email for the nobody, the nothing media, and you know, one of the guys was talking, and I know that the guy has a clear experience, I'm sure, and he's, you know, there's not nothing personal, but just sometimes the language is just it'll catch that the person, you know, the not me. And the guy, well, he said, one day I just woke up or I took a walk and then I just wasn't there anymore and I just died. And then that old program running in me was like, oh, I had that experience, but I couldn't follow through, and I contracted and I blew it. I lost my chance to really die while I'm still alive. And it was just this weird, and the rest of the day I'm like kind of bummed out about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like, oh, now I feel everything feels so far away again. And it was
You
just
really fucked up, John. You did.
what's that?
You really fucked up. You did.
No, I died. Exactly right. And then I noticed it just the next day, you know, I mean, just, you know, I felt, and then it just kind of went away, you know. It was sort of like you know, I didn't fight with that feeling too much. It was like, yeah, it brought me down and for a little bit, and but I could feel, I could see the dishonesty in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas before
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't have. You
Yes.
know,
Good.
I would have believed that idea, like, oh God, no, you know what it is? I really am so far away. And it's like, no, no, no. It's just, that's just a thought. That's just another thought coming through, you know?
That's right, man. That's right.
And then the next day, you know, you wake up and then there's seeing again. And
Yeah.
and
Nothing's
it's,
changed, has it?
no, nothing changed. And it's just,
Dying, not dying, coming, not coming, going, not going. Yeah.
right. And I guess just as this happens, you know, it's just that it doesn't, the grasping and
Yeah, it's not you, bro. So it's grasping. So what?
yeah, yeah. But it's
Running,
just like,
grasping.
there's a loosening around it all, though. It's like even when it's happening, it's happening in a different context, sort of like this.
Yeah. You're
There's more
traveling
scripture
lighter,
in
bro.
it. Yeah. So yeah, that was good. But it's just funny how, you know, a couple words will trigger you. Oh yeah, and then I just died. And I'm, oh shit, man, I could have died too. You know, just I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
The mind looks for things. It still looks for things here and there. It's like, oh well, you know, and just to put it back into its position, its old position. But it's almost too. I really look at it like it's too late. It's too late for it to reestablish itself as the cart before the horse. You know.
Well, yeah, yeah. It's like like it said that, you know, the head is in the tiger's mouth already. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to thank you. You know, you do a good job. You know, there's a lot of people. I think, you know, look, I think there's obviously there's people with the understanding, but being able to express it in a way that clears up a lot of confusion. Whereas just hearing nothing and no one and dreams and apparent and, you know, like this all this the hot button words or whatever, and just sometimes it just sort of leaves you feeling, it can leave you feeling alienated because it just seems like someone is over there having something that experience that seems
Yeah.
so different and far away. And so I just, you know, appreciate that you bringing it to a level and with language that is really not alienating, but very, you know, accessible and effective and, you know, real. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So, you know, I just
Well,
wanted to
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing, bro. I was in the audience. I went to satsangs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could hear a dynamic in a way that was of two-ness. Yeah. There was a lot of separation going on. from me and the one who had it. Yeah. And so, yeah, I just wanted to be, I'm not shooting for the stars, man. The stars don't bother me. I'm shooting like for traveling lighter. Yeah. Like on Wednesday,
Yeah,
Thursday.
I like that too, because the enlightenment is packed. It's a packed word, It's really you got all
Yeah.
your preconceptions in it. What
Yeah.
it's going to mean.
It was probably been better never said, really.
Yeah.
Because, but it's a perfect illustration of what the head does. It hears something, and one of the definitions of enlightenment is the cessation of all suffering, and it actually furthers suffering with its understanding of it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no question about it. Yeah.
Sort of
Being
trippy, isn't it? I mean, that should be a pretty good teaching in and of itself. Wait a minute. I hear about enlightenment and it produces suffering, and yet the definition is the cessation of all suffering. Wow, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. To me, I mean, we're so curious about stuff, but a lot of times we're not curious about this stuff. Yeah. I'm really curious about what's going on, How is this message being heard? I know now, like, all my job is to say whatever I'm feeling like I'm saying, because it's not me, and my jurisdiction's over as soon as I put it out there, because you're going to make it what it is. What I'm hoping gets carried through all this transfer of, let's say, conceptual paper is a real feeling. Yeah, something gets through, and we have real communication, John, you and I, yeah, and you and the Zoom in with you and everything, yeah. That's what's going on here, yeah. The words and the ideas are vehicles. They're necessary to deliver something, but they're not the something that's delivered. Yes, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
So, all right, bro. It's great to
Thank,
see you again, John.
thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. And Nora, where did your hand go? See if he's still here. Still here. Did you want to withdraw your hand, Nora? Or maybe I have to ask you to unmute.
He's trying something.
Nora. Where'd he go? Oh,
Come in, Nor. Come in, Nor.
Nor. There you go. You're unmuted, but I don't hear you yet. Where'd you go?
All right. Well, let's see if anyone else. We can come back to Nor.
Okay. Ask to unmute. Does that work, Nor? No. And you're like Clifford in Chiang Mai. Your sound's not working.
There's nothing like being forced to mute. All right. Well, we'll come back, Mike, if you like.
Yeah. No other hands are up right now. Anybody else want to raise their hands?
All right. Well.
Nina. Nope. Nina.
Oh, Nina.
Hi. I want to just lay out an effect I had this morning where, so I was at a meeting and this is overlap to recovery, but I don't think it matters. So I'm listening to people talking about their experiences, which are somewhat different than mine, but they're much more alike than they are different. And I've listened to, things people have done. And in this particular thing, they're talking about smoking pot, and I'm like, I didn't smoke pot, but I did other things that were like controlling and managing. Anyway, the point is, my whole experience in that meeting and connecting to these people was so deep. It was almost like every single person talking had my thoughts completely, and I was so connected to them, and had such and I've been in those meetings, this particular group, and I always felt I'm different, they don't like me, I don't like them, like all these, you know, really resistant things. And what was interesting is I didn't tell my, like people would always say to me, identify, look for the similarities. Like they would give me that instruction. So I knew that instruction, but in a way, I think I resisted it more. Like my mental activity would be like, no, but you are really special. Like, don't they understand you're like a level beyond the regular special? Anyway, so.
I thought you were, Nina. I did. Maybe 3 levels beyond.
I know. You spoke to my dad. Anyway, no, but what I'm saying is there was no intention, like it just flowed and I was just there. And it was really cool because I've done so much efforting and trying to follow directions on how to like be outside of self or more connected or whatever words you want to use, only to have it like boomerang back at me harsher. And so like, and you were actually talking about that topic, which I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but it was like, man, that shit went in and I had a completely different experience. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh yeah, good, honey. Yeah. There's I really like the reports, yeah, because people are observing effects that they had nothing to do with. Yeah, that's going to be really the way most of it's held. Yeah, you're going to be observing stuff that you really had nothing to do with. That's the joy of it. Yeah, and that you can have a sense here as a overweighted, responsible action figure that something is doing for you what you couldn't do for yourself. So a lot of this built-in stress will be lifted from the recognition that you're not the, you know, the director, you're not the that, you're not that. And it's you can't put a value on it because it shows its value each and every second that you're experiencing. Yeah. Yeah, because a weight that would come with you each and every moment or as you gets lifted, and that's traveling lighter. Yeah.
You know, Paul, I used to do fundraising and I would be able to give you a value for that. We can talk about that. I'm just kidding. No,
the funny thing is, see, the value I'm sharing, I have. Yeah. That's the joy of it. Yeah. Like we say, you have it by giving it away. Because there is no finiteness, there is no expiration date, there's no return is warranted. It's readily available at all times, right where we are. There's no, you're not getting meted out a certain portion, yeah? The whole thing's flowing through. We're the portion that the wholeness flows through, yeah? You know what I mean? We're a portion of it, the wholeness flowing through. Yeah. That's the value. So I'm hoping that we're all sharing it together. And it's just, you know, I remember you coming in, hon, and, you know, it's wonderful to see you traveling lighter and all the other folks. And I couldn't, you know, I couldn't have wished any more for you, really. So, and it's not a difficult, you don't have to line up everything. You just line up one thing in a sense. Yeah, the horse is in front of the cart. You are clear what's before that which comes after. You are clear about it. And therefore, that's the eyes to see that which is after. is the eyes of before. Yeah? This is what the after, by implying it's before, blinds us to. Yeah? We take its eyes and it tells us what it sees, and we believe that's what we see through identification. Yeah? And it leads to so many different feelings of dissatisfaction or incompleteness or whatever. It's always the fact of its own fiction produces the smells, It's just something is off, yeah? I mean, how could I be occupied, let's say February 28th by October 12th? I mean, fuck. Yeah, I can't see that other than slavery, really. I just don't see. Can you imagine that every day you are apt to be enslaved to other days? It just blows my mind. Or mostly made out of imagination. You haven't met them. Not one day next week has ever bled into today, ever. And and we make a lot of shit out of nothing. Or we don't make it, but we buy it, let's say. We're the audience watching it, but there's a lot of shit made out of nothing. Yeah, and it leads to such a heaviness, people are apt to do almost anything to get fucking relief. And I can't blame them in a way. It's just not clear direction, but you can't blame them because I don't know what it's like to have Tina on Tina in a certain moment. I don't. I can't. So I had too much.
They got confused because you called me Tina.
Yes, Tina.
I didn't get confused.
Tina and Nina, you got me. But I've seen I've seen my brother and my sister kill themselves, my older brother and older sister. And from my view of it, they were outmatched by circumstances and situations. And the reaction to those circumstances, situations from other circumstances and situations were not of them. Yeah? And I find, who am I to ever say, where that can go? Yeah? But I just, that's what motivates me. There's a whole lot that can be done without much doing, right where we sit, just by seeing certain stuff and recognizing what's of us and what's not of us, at least. Yeah? Because there's a whole lot of weight getting distributed. And some of the times that weight gets dumped on us. It does. And it's too much for a person to bear. Either they go back out again or they act out in some other way and they feel like they've been pushed back 20 squares. Of course they haven't been, but this is the game of the head. Yeah? And there is a solution. Yeah? Yeah. There is a solution, and it's going to be found right where you think you are. It is. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks, Nina, Tina, or Mina. But we always finally get to Nina. Pleasure, honey. Thank you.
Thank you both for the infinite value. Nor re-entered. Do you want to try again, Nor? He didn't raise his hand again, but.
I don't think my audio works.
Oh, you got it now.
Oh, how funny.
I was hoping you would have forgotten the question by now, but whatever. It's persistent.
There's no question.
All right. Okay.
I put my hand down partially because I just liked the way John said what he said. So I just wanted to end it there. But since it didn't end, Rachel reminded me of something really nice. And your mention of math reminded me of something nice. The way my circumstance works. Some people would call it Raja Yoga. My mind, there's a way in which my logic center has to be satisfied. Otherwise, it just grabs me too hard. And all of this makes logical sense as well as everything else. You don't have to just feel it, you can know it. So, specifically, when Rachel was saying this stuff about memory, the fact is, in this moment, one thing is I can't remember hardly a damn thing, and it's getting worse. Well, better, just depending on how you look at it. What I do remember is made up. I don't have clear memory, and I certainly don't remember all the details. So memory it's really insignificant. It has nothing to do with identity. How could it? Because it's not really there. So if there's any kind of relaxation that's going to happen, that's one of the things that just has to be seen again as something that's partial, fragmented, temporary, whatever. And I just mention it not because because I found you can learn these things and that's what gets you there, but there's a satisfaction in relating back to as you're resting, saying, oh yeah, that all this stuff I thought about identity and memory, it's just not there, or time, like we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. In consciousness, I can't find time. I really can't find time anymore. Now, you gave me some caution about that, so you can say it again if you want. But I
forgot.
Yeah, me too. But I think it absorbed. I talked with Mike the next day, and we jiggled it. I think it had something to do with, the outer self, the non-doer, not grabbing that too hard, not grabbing that as a kind of understanding to make another thing out of it, basically, which is always a good caution with me, but it doesn't seem like that's happening so much anymore at all. It's all downtime lately.
Good.
Yeah. And when it doesn't feel good, I just let it not feel good, and then it starts feeling good again.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it really doesn't have anything to do with my body chemistry, my meds, the things I'm doing, the things I'm not doing. It really doesn't.
No.
Which, again, to give appreciation, that's one of the reasons. I mean, I'm really seeing the last few months how your message and the basic message that people have been giving, that's the message. The simple stuff is really the message. All this add-on it can be useful, all these different yogas, but the basic message, I just keep coming back to that.
Yeah. Well, it's reliable.
Yeah. It's reliable and it's consistent and it's traditional. There's something about that makes a lot of sense. And then it's logical. If I look at it close enough, it's logical too.
Yes, for sure. Well, good, Nora. We're always happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see y'all too. Yeah.
You guys should come over to the house sometime. You and Mike.
Yeah, for sure.
Back outside in the back. Yeah.
How's the pup?
It's getting bigger, yeah. I don't know where it is, and I'm happy that I don't know where it is. When I don't know where it is, I don't go looking for it. Amelia knows where it is. She's waving, yes. It's in the kitchen. Amelia was doing a Zoom teaching Italian. So I had to go back into the closet so they couldn't hear these English words. Oh, here comes the dog. See Amelia? It's a knucklehead. Look at it. It's just a knucklehead. It's too much. Yeah. I went swimming today in the lagoon. I'm going to get it in there soon. It was cold. All right, Noah, nice to see you. Nice to see Lola and Amelia.
Thanks, Nor. Merrily down the stream.
Hey, there's nice to see, there's, let's see, who says
Debbie's got her
John?
hand.
John R. Nice to see John
Hey,
in his
Paul.
car. Yeah. Yes?
Debbie has her hand up. You're not trying to
All
say
right.
bye.
Let's go, Deb.
Am I on?
You are.
Okay, I can't figure this thing out completely yet. So as I was sitting here listening tonight, I spoke up just because I haven't been doing so. So, and then since then I've come up with other things. But when I met you like 16 years ago, and I called you every morning at 8 a.m. begging you to make me understand this process, I think when I really got it was you said, you wake up in the morning and you're just on. There's just onness. And when I finally tried that, I didn't have to try very hard because I was just on. So I didn't have to try that hard. But that's when it was like life became much more fun for me. I just went around and I was just kind of like, I put up no resistance. I mean, whatever came my way, I was on. And I just think that was when I really got it, or at least I think I did. But yeah, but I think I did. But
Now you think you don't.
well, no, as I was sitting here, well, I mean, I didn't walk away. I still had millions of your CDs, so I listened to you all the time in the car and stuff. So I still tried to stay connected, but life did happen. I mean, a bunch of surgeries and stuff. And I, kind of like what you were saying with your brother and sister, pain and stuff. And so I started seeing things differently. And then, but wait, before I get away from that, the only way I was ever going to get this was through repetition. I had to listen to you, or for this action figure, it was very important for me to listen to this a lot. For this action figure, I don't think it was ever going to just happen. Like I heard it and now I'm just on. I mean, I know you say you want to give us, not, make it short, make it quick, and, not take years to have this happen. So as I was sitting here, that was really all I had to say. And I know it's getting late, but as I was sitting here, I came up with, oh God, I hate to even go there because this meeting's been so long. So I'm just going to leave it alone for tonight. I just wanted to kind of, well, I'll say it. I don't like where I live. And so when I wake up in the morning and I'm on and I look around and life's happening, events are happening, deeds are done, but there's no individuals doer thereof. I start looking around and I get irritable, restless, and discontent because I don't like what I'm looking at. So what do you say about that, Paul?
Move.
Yeah, I know. I wish. But I mean, shouldn't it be easier than me moving?
This is the way it is. Maybe that's the way it's going to be. Move.
Right. Yeah, I know. But anyway, yeah.
Watch what arises. Watch what arises when you say that. I can't do it. Da 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 dee, da da da, and see it all as not you, and keep. Hopefully, there's enough of you that's not open because of circumstances. It's just open because it's open, and something will come out of there, and you'll have the wherewithal to fucking move. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're not, then you'll fit yourself around the circumstances, and you'll see something that's not there. You'll see some beauty, and you'll be the bearer of the beauty to where you are instead of where you are giving you the beauty.
Well, there's a story here that I don't like because I grew up here, so there's a story that weighs me down.
But see, you're not the story, and so I understand, hon. But you can always call me about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, my mom had this thing. It was funny. My mom, when she got older, she would bitch to us about wanting to go to Hawaii every Christmas. And nobody would buy her a ticket for years. And she would just bitch. And then one year, we all bought her a ticket. Do you think she went to Hawaii? No. She didn't want to go to Hawaii. She wanted to bitch about not going to Hawaii. That was her thing. So when we gave her, here's your ticket, Ma. We'll drive to the airport. I don't want to go to Hawaii. Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we say we want to move, but there's more of us that doesn't want to move. Yeah.
Well, physically, I can't right now, obviously.
There
I'm
you
in my
go
own
then.
way.
All right. So now
Physically, I
you're getting
can't.
closer to it. Yes. All right. Well, take care of business and then stay open to the possibility.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not that I'm running the meeting or anything, but
A
it's
lot
getting
of the
late. So
times, the simplest answer is right in front of us. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I just need the repetition again. I mean, maybe that's just what works for me. And you always
Well,
say come back,
that's important to know what works for you, for sure.
right.
So
Repetition. Because I
thank
thought
God
the old
you,
way, I had repetition in the old way of my thinking forever.
Deb, you should actually hold on to those CDs. When I'm dead, they'll be probably valuable.
Oh, they're valuable to me.
The old talks from 16 years ago.
Oh, I
They,
have them.
you should start going to Zen Bitch Slap and start trying to bargain. Some people may buy them from you.
Oh, no,
And
no,
they'll
I would
allow
never
you to
give those.
move.
Never give them away, Paul.
Hmm?
No way. But anyway, that's all I have.
Thanks. Deb she came to when I used to do a talk in a recovery center long, long time ago. And she came from Chicago and walked in not knowing what she was walking into. And then she had me go to Chicago and try to, uh, whatever. It was fun. It was fun back then. Yeah. I almost people would want to beat me up after the talks. We'd have some great fucking situations. Yeah. I mean, seriously. You cannot believe how threatening something like this can be.
Oh, absolutely.
Certain heads, Wow. So
Well, that was in suburbia of Chicago too. So,
that's why when back then I'd only stay for 3 days, because usually the first day they really liked what I had to say. The second day they thought about it. Then the third day they wanted to fucking run me out of town, so I would leave anyway. I only had 3-day visits. All right. Well, thanks, Deb. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
I can't believe how old school CDs already seem to be for us.
We put out thousands of CDs, but we don't even have dates on it. We just nothing else, just a magic marker with a date. Yeah. They got around the world, though. They were in Iraq war and shit. I got letters from a lot of people. They found out who I was. Some guy from Staten Island hunted me down and brought me to Staten Island. And it was sort of like Eckhart Tolle meeting the Sopranos. It was such a fucking insane events, man. It was great. All right, I'm happy. I really love Zoom. I can get here like a second before, and yeah, it's great. Don't have to wear any pants ever. So
Well, it might not be a bad
all my
idea.
fashion decisions are about shirts, really. No.
It might not be a bad idea in case you stand up.
Nah. All right. Well, let's say goodbye to everybody. This has been a long night.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, let's say, I'm on a beautiful square here. We got Vlad. Nice to see you, Vlad.
Oh, hey, Paul. Thank you so much.
Always, Vlad. Vlad has lovely music on the website. If you ever go to the website, there's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of our members have their music up, and we're going to have art up there. We have the written word there. And so if you have any interest in sharing anything, send it to Mike. And if it's not, if it's worthy of Zen Bitch Slap, it'll be put up, We got a low bar. So, but beautiful stuff. The music is great. I really was very impressed. So, Mary G, nice to see you. We got Gary. Yes, man. Gary. Yeah. We got Chad. Nice to meet you again, Chad. I hope to see you again. Yes? Yeah. Rachel, a pleasure. Nice to see you. Stefan on having never left. Yes. Brahmi, always a pleasure to see you, Brahmi. Thank you for those lovely shots of India that you send us. Yeah, appreciate it. Richard, nice to meet you. Richard H. We got John R., one of my favorite folks, up in near Byron Bay. We'll be over there sooner or later, John. Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it.
Guys, put the pictures of Brahmi on Bitch Slap. Is that possible?
Oh yeah, Brahmi, do you? Yeah, if Brahmi wants to send any of the stuff, we'll put it up on Zen Bitch Slap. Yeah.
I'll send
My-
some pictures to
you can
the
send
email
it-
address I have for sure.
Yeah, please send anything, honey. And then Sanda too. She's not here tonight, I don't think. She's usually here Saturday. She's got she lives in Arunchala, so she can send us lovely pictures of the mountain. Yeah, it's great. Thank you. See you, John. We got let's see, we got Kerry, one of my main men. Fantastic. Nor, Amelia, the love of my life. Hello, Amelia. We got Nina, never to be known as Mina or Tina. We got David W. David, I think I heard that you're a teacher. Is that what
I
you?
am, yep. I teach third grade.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks. Nice to meet you, Dave. And you're up in Colorado.
I am, yep, up in the hills.
Oh, all right, great. We got Taj. Taj has dropped in again. Nice to see you, Taj. We got Debbie. Debbie, you're gonna get well from all those surgeries, yes?
God, I hope so.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and just give me a call sometimes off the talks, you know.
So what are you saying? Don't talk.
You can call me some other time, not during the talk. Yeah.
Okay.
John Luna from Huntington, not Beach, but Long Island. Alan, nice to see you, Alan. I don't see you. Mike C, Johannes, Tommy, Joseph, iPhone, John R. Yes. Well, you know, I'm really thankful for all these Zooms. It's I have a lot of fondness for a lot of people. I probably maybe wouldn't if I met you, but it's sort of nice in the Zoom. It's I can't guarantee how it would go live, but it's really nice. Nice to see you, Deb. I didn't see Deborah M. Nice to see you, Deborah. And Linda Stevenson, one of my favorites. John K. Robert from New Zealand. Elliot, nice to see you, Elliot. Friend of Hari. Did you get the message from Hari? Yeah, good. All right. Z. Slacko, Judith. Yes, Judith is, she's holding the space for Hawaii. We're all going to try to enter there sooner or later. Yes, yes. We got Mike, the man of service. Nice to see you, Mike. And hey, thanks everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you. I'll be there tomorrow, recovery, Saturday, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Paul.
Bye.
Thank you.